Hey guys, it's LVG here with another video. So last time I told you I would be reviewing a watch, but I haven't had time to put that together. So there's something else I want to show you, and I think it's pretty important for a lot of runners, depending on what kind of speed you're running, what kind of distance you're running, and how you like to run. So today I'm going to introduce a shoe that I recently found, and I'm going to point out the pros and the cons of this shoe so that you guys can get a feeling for how you might feel if you're wearing it. So before I get into this whole shoe thing, I have to tell you a couple things about how I run. So if you don't know how I run, then you probably won't know how this is going to feel for me. So I'm typically a long distance runner, but my training consists of a lot of tempo runs. So instead of doing a lot of distance, I do a lot of quality workouts. So instead of, say, doing a 20-mile run at 9 or 10-minute pace, I'll do a lot of 5-mile runs at a good 7-minute to 6-minute pace. So by doing that, I allow myself some time to recover. I also work 60 hours a week. So with that said, you can't really put in all that much distance. So for me, I need sleep, I need rest, I need LVG time. And so I'm not going to be out there running, 15 miles at a time, 20 miles at a time. But I am going to be running about 5 to 6 times a week. And I'll be running 5 to 6, maybe 10 miles on a good day. So when I'm running, I want to go for speed. So when you're looking at speed, and a lot of us are, a speed workout is going to be a different kind of shoe than a shoe made for like a long run. So what I want to show you today is a shoe that I would recommend for a track workout. The reason I say this is because it's a light shoe and it's reasonably hard. So let me begin. So this is the Asics Dynaflyte. So one thing I want you to pay attention to when you're looking at a shoe is this. It's the posting. So if you press the posting here, you'll feel that it's either soft or hard. A lot of companies will distinguish this by making this part a different color if it is hard. What that means is it's holding your foot up when you're landing. That doesn't matter where you're landing. If you're landing on your toe, if you're landing on your heel, if you're landing mid-foot. It's talking about when you land in that final point where your foot either turns in, turns out, or lands flat forward. So this shoe is what you would call a neutral shoe. So for that, anyone who pronates, supinates, I'll define those below, you're going to need, a different kind of shoe. So for a small track workout that's going to be about 3 to 4 miles, typically a neutral shoe will be okay, even for somebody who pronates. So this shoe is a lightweight shoe made by Asics. It's new this year, came out, Dynaflyte. It uses the Flight foam, which is kind of softer foam, but also replaces some of that gel that you're used to in Asics. So a lot of people, when you ask them Asics, they'll instantly say, oh, the Asics gel. But this one does not, in fact, utilize as much gel as a typical Asics. Another thing to look at when you're looking at this shoe is where it bends. So this line down the center of the shoe shows where it's going to bend. That's important because when you push off, you don't want it to be totally flat. Otherwise, you're running on a board, right? So this shoe has this kind of curve. And every shoe you look at is probably going to have this. And it's important to look at these things when you're looking at a shoe. So, my thoughts on this shoe. I've worn this for a few long runs, 6-7 miles, and I've also worn it on the track. What I've found is that on the road or on, a kind of dusty trail that's pretty packed, it seems a little bit hard. So that's because it doesn't have the foam, it doesn't have the gel built in. So if I'm wearing this on a track though, a track is already going to be pretty soft. So it's great. Why? Because it has a great push-off. So there's a great push-off feeling that lets you push off and go faster when you're doing those 200 repeats, 400 repeats, or anything like that. So this is going to be quite different than another shoe I'll show you in just 1 second. This is the Ultra Taurin. The Ultra Taurin is a shoe I'm going to introduce later, but I just want to show you as a comparison. So if you look here, there's quite a buildup of foam. What does that mean? It means you're sinking a little bit into the foam before you actually push off. This, on the other hand, is a harder foam. So this is going to give you a little more speed, but less cushion. This is going to give you more cushion and perhaps a little less speed. So it kind of depends on your weight and your running type. So if you're a heavier runner, this might be the perfect shoe for the push-off because you're going to be sunk into the shoe anyways. This, on the other hand, would be for a lighter runner. So it's also built a little more narrow through here. So those are just some things to consider when you're looking at a new shoe. So this week, I introduced Dynaflyte. So click on the links. There's a link to Dynaflyte on Asics website and give it a try. Come into Running Revolution in Campbell and we can help you out. Also, next week, I plan on doing another video introducing a different shoe, probably the Taurin, because this has been an interesting and fun shoe that I think a lot of people need to know about. It's a zero drop shoe, and next week I'll describe to you what zero drop means and what that means for your running. All right, it's been good talking, guys. Stay healthy, don't run too much, and have fun.